Good evening, guys, and welcome back. And we did make it in the end. We were at hospital for much of the morning and the afternoon getting some checks done. But in the end, they decided that surgery is not necessary. I just need to stop lifting heavy weights so much. So for 3 months, I'm not allowed to lift heavy weights. That's basically the outcome today. And then hopefully the breastbone will heal as it should then. So all good news. So I did then decide, hey, Neil, good to see you. How you doing, mate? So I did decide to let's go with this Ipswich save for a couple of hours tonight, as we couldn't do it this morning. So we're up and running. And tonight we're going to just be, excuse me, one of the things that the doctor did say is that he'd tell my GP that I need some antibiotics to get rid of this chest infection. So hopefully, hopefully that'll be gone as well very shortly, which will be good news for me. Bear with me until it's gone, because I do have this terrible chesty cough. Okay, so tonight's all about slowing it down a little bit, and we're going to look at space. We had a very good conversation last night about space on the FM Tweak Discord. I would suggest, if you're not involved in that, get involved. Some really nice chaps in there. And it was a very, very good discussion, and there's a lot of good discussions go on there, so I would recommend to everybody get involved. It's a really nice Discord, very friendly, no hassles in there, no rudeness. It's all very pleasant. And I'm quite enjoying being in there, so I'll come and say hello. So that advertising aside, we also are now playing with the updated FM Tweak, or not so updated, because I do believe there's another one in the pipeline coming out mid-April. But for now, I'm going with the one that's available via the website, the version 1.2. I've tested it. Seems to work. It seems to work okay. It doesn't seem to affect my 4.2.3.1 that I'm doing with Watford. Hopefully it won't affect the 4.1.2.2.1 that we're playing here. Okay, so we need to get this transfer window done. But first, before the transfer window ends, we have a game against West Ham in the Carabao Cup third round. Looking at the schedule, we kind of recovered. We had a dreadful, torrid time with our opening fixtures, but we've kind of recovered a little bit. We've got fixtures that we should be getting some points from coming up in the month of September. And this EFL Cup third round, I'm not really that bothered about it. Be competitive. They're already pleased. I don't know why, because we haven't played a game yet. So we're gonna play a few games tonight and see how we get on. Transfers in. I did make a couple of transfers off camera. It took me an hour and a half, so I thought it's probably better for me to do it off camera than for me to finish the window and take you through all that absolute mayhem. I had to trawl through players, but we have brought some players in, and we brought a couple of players in. We've brought in a DLP, 12.5 million. I think he's a bargain. Particularly his mentals are pretty good. I think he's probably going to be our best midfielder, and can pass, got good vision. Has a tackle, decent tackle, and he can mark. He's got good technique. So he's probably going to be a pretty good player. He's going to take time to bed in, I think, as they normally do. And then I brought in Sebastian Boselli, again, cheap, 9.25 million. He's, what nationality? Uruguayan, centre-back, because Salas has been playing up. I am expecting to sell Salas, Salad, as I know him. And he's young, 22 years old. I think he'll be a decent buy, but he's got development to do as yet. So we brought him in for a few quid. He's gone up in value since we brought him in. And also, we've sold Univar, as you know. Marcel Hartel went out to Nottingham Forest. So we brought some money in. And then we are currently waiting on a goalkeeper. He is just thinking about his contract, but there's only 3 hours to go. So whether he will come in or not, I don't know. I don't think there's anybody waiting to go out. Salas is the one who's waiting to go out. And so I think we just need to play this game now. This is all about... We're going to look at, first of all, the data hub, and we're going to look at West Ham. It says they're going to play wing play, but when I look at their formation, they've got 2 inside forwards here, and they've also got an inverted wing back who's going to be coming into the midfield area. This doesn't look like wing play to me. They've got an inverted full back here, so there's nobody really, if these 2 are coming inside, there's nobody actually providing the width. But if we dig deeper, go to the analyst report and look at the formation analysis. So they often play with a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. And the way they're set up at the moment would suggest that they're going to play in this 4-3-3. But I don't think that they're going to play wing play, and I think they're probably going to use these inside forwards to cause mayhem in the corners of my penalty area. We're going to have to be good in midfield. They're going to overload midfield, and they're going to be difficult to break down. They've been defending quite well. So, looking deeper, if we go to the analyst report and we have a look at their final third entries, what I can clearly see is these diagonal balls to the corners of the penalty areas. There's a lot of diagonal balls to the penalty areas. There's a couple to the centre here, but most of them are just going, it's not wide, it's just to the penalty area, and so they're going to be using that corner. And the inside forward is going to be picking up the ball here, coming inside and having a pop at goal, which makes these inside forwards quite dangerous. So in terms of space, what we have to do is make sure that they do not get the ball in these areas. So one of the ways that we can do that is to have this guy on defend, and we're going to have a problem with the wing back on attack. So we're going to have to defend well, but both wing backs, and I will do this in game, I'll want them to be pressing a little bit more. I'll do that in game because I might forget to adjust it before the next game. So when the game starts, we'll have these wing backs closing down these areas a lot more, and that will help to eliminate. So that's the game plan. In terms of the way that we are going to play, we're just going to play as we would normally play, trying to create space with that underlap on the right. And so the winger is going to be coming inside, hopefully, creating this overload with the supporting wing back up here, hopefully creating space. And on the left hand side we'll have this attacking fullback. Now, in terms of where I'm going to place the line, I don't believe that they are going to play wing play. I've upped the trigger press because they're not brave, they're not aggressive, they don't tackle very well, they lack strength. So I want to trigger press more often, get stuck in. And so I'm going to up the line because they're also not the fastest of teams. And so when I go, I've rotated the team. I'm not really that bothered about this result. I would rather win the league match that we've got coming up against them later. This has been suggested to me a lot, simply because we're giving away goals around the penalty spot, but I'm not going to do that as yet, but it's something I'm going to bear in mind. So you have a 6'9" absolute beast of a centre-back. He sounds extremely good. So I think that whether or not this team, we're going to play, Allen is coming in, new signing, Velasco, new signing, as Atom is playing at the back. We're going to play Morstead up front, and Arribas, who is a very new signing, he's coming in on the wing. We're going to try these boys out against West Ham and see how they get on. Probably a huge risk, but then I'm not really that bothered about the Carabao Cup. All my focus is on the Premier League and my quest to somehow get this team into Europe again next season. And I will say our home form is important. It is important. Traditionally, we've played well at home and played very poorly away. So I'm going to do two things once I start the game. I'm going to put my wing-backs, I'm going to give them the instruction to close down more. We've already done one. I want him to close down more, and that's to cover the edges of the penalty area. So I want them rushing out to take out those inside forwards. So we know the inside forwards are going to be quite dangerous. So especially Jared Bowen. So I want him tight marked. He's not very fit, and I need him hard tackled as well. And one of the things that I will have to look at is these two players here, because these are the boys who are going to be putting these balls over the top. So I'm going to tight mark the pair of them just to get close to them. And we'll see what happens as a result after that. I think I should be in comprehensive highlights, because that will now allow me to see what's happening on the pitch. And I'll be able to see who's passing to who. And who's causing me the problems. Because what I want to do is stop the ball going to Bowen and to the inside forward on the left. That's the game plan. That's how we're going to stop them. I don't believe they've got great pace. It's just a case of, can we defend well? Can we play well? And can we open them up? And there's that lovely pass down the right. We've opened them up down the right-hand side, but Arribas was a bit slow there. I guess he's having trouble settling into the pace of the Premier League. He was very, very slow in his decision-making there. But he's got the ball again. And he's given it away again. He's not had the greatest of starts, Arribas. But it's only his first few minutes in the Prem. I think the higher line is important, because I think my scout got that wrong. They're not going to play wing play at all. We'll see from when the game's been played for 10 or 15 minutes. We'll be able to see where they're attacking, and we'll be able to look at their heat map and see they're not playing wide. And they've got this back three, and the right-hand man should be drifting into midfield. So if we've read that right, you should see him pushing up into midfield on the heat map, which he is. Now, I'm told this is also something that they are not very good at set pieces, despite the fact that they have Ward-Prowse in their team. So I don't believe that for 1 minute. So I'm going to rely on my goalkeeper to have a good game today. I'm going to play Stanic. If you're looking on expanding your taste a little bit more, recommend Pasolini's work. Oh, that, I mean, you've been talking about something I've missed there. And chance, it's in, and it is Arribas. He scored his first Premier League goal. Well, it's not a Premier League, it's the Carabao Cup, isn't it? But I'd prefer not to win this. I'd prefer to win against them in the league. We desperately need the points in the league. It was really shoddy defending. Given that I do also know that West Ham have been defending extremely well, and that was absolutely shoddy. I'm just looking at where Bowen is. And he is slightly wide, but he's not hugging the touchline. They are wide, but they're probably going to come inside. They'll probably start making their way inside very shortly. So what we've got to do is make sure these two are not the feeders. And it might be that we may have to put them onto their opposite foot. So if he's feeding the right hand inside forward, what we might have to do is put him on his left foot so that he has to play left. Just trying to make them feel uncomfortable. And there's the corner of that area, and that was blocked. So if you do see these guys, these inside forwards, it's well worth making sure that your wing back is closing down more, and then he'll close them down when they're taking shots from these areas. It's not very well known in FM, that. But we are a goal up. And deservedly so. I think we've nullified West Ham's attack completely. But that was terrible. Who was that? Who was that? I don't know. One of the things about FM is that you also know if you're controlling the game. If you're having the highlights, if you've got the ball, then you are controlling the game. It's when it switches, and often what happens is that at half-time, the AI makes a little change, and then suddenly, before you know it, you were 4-0 up. Before half-time, suddenly, before you know it, you're 4-2. And people don't see that the highlights have changed. So when the highlights have changed, you're going to have to stop and have a look. What have they changed? What are they doing differently? Otherwise, they will score. So we'll take that into account as well. Yeah, definitely, Neil. I've been impressed with the way the ball deflects. I've also been quite impressed with the crossing, but that jumping there in the penalty area, he was nowhere near the ball. He just jumped up on the spot. I think he was trying to con his manager there. They are looking for Bowen. They're clearly looking for Bowen, but my wing back has got him. Because he's closing down more. Bowen is too narrow. And because my wing back's closing down more, he's pretty much tucked up Jarrod Bowen, and they are looking for him. Go on, son. We're in again, and it's 2-0. Velasco this time. Was he offside, though? No, I don't think so. Well, it is nice to be getting some wins under our belt, isn't it? There's going to be 3 wins on the trot, if we can hold on to this, of course. It's 2-0 is never enough in FM. Oh, this light. I do need to buy some new lights. Morstead did well. And then Velasco just coming in behind tucked it away. If we just stop it here now, have a look at the heat map, you can see clearly how narrow West Ham are. For a team playing wing play, I'd expect to see them... It's gone red. Something going on here. I'd expect to see them a little bit further out, further wider. And we can also see where the game is being played with them. So it's these two. We were right to close those two down. Looking at this, their focus of attack is purely down the right-hand side. They're looking for Bowen, and they're not getting it to him. Unfortunately, my left wing back has got him tied up. What we want to try and do, what we're trying to do, is to make them play in a way they don't want to play. So I want them to stop looking for Bowen, stop looking for whoever's on the left here, who's been so quiet. Whoever is on the left-hand side, hopefully they'll stop looking for those, Elanga, and they will start playing down the middle, and they may not be very good at playing down the middle, but they are dangerous from set pieces. I do not believe my set piece coach when he showed me that they were not very good at set pieces. Now they have made a change. You clearly see that the momentum has shifted, and now I'm seeing West Ham looking to go down the middle. So I should have a high line, and we should just keep doing what we're doing, because I'm set up for them to play down the middle. And if Bowen is tied up there, which he is, we've just totally tied Bowen up. Penalty, ref. Remembering this is almost my reserve team at the moment. Not quite a reserve team. So in terms of the way the game is going, we are much the better team. West Ham have pretty much done nothing. I am concerned about this get stuck in, because it does mean we will give free kicks away. And I don't want to give Ward-Prowse too many opportunities. And I think we can probably come off that now. Just come off that now, because we are 2-0 up. Yeah, I mean, half-time will be... Hi, Jamie, how are you doing? Have you considering... I think it makes the play look absolutely dreadful. Players don't play at that speed. Let's just do that. And the whole thing, for me, looks absolutely terrible. The players do not play at this speed. It's just... it looks madness to me. I have trouble following the game when it's in this kind of... It just looks completely mad. They don't play at that speed. I know it probably makes for computer game viewing is better, but that's not, for me, realistic at all. And so I'm going to bring it back down again. This is much more realistic in terms of how the players move at this speed. They will have bursts of acceleration. But I can understand what you're saying, Jamie. In terms of pure entertainment, then playing at 100 miles an hour is much better to look at. Oof. But for me, that is the correct speed that it's played at. Especially if you are looking at a real game highlights and you actually were looking, I mean, you could put to the real game and compare this, you'd find that the speed is actually pretty spot on. But I know, every other content creator that I know plays at 300 miles an hour, simply because it is pure entertainment. But I'm not like other content creators. This for me is a better speed. I've also seen content creators play it at 3 notches above the standard, which is like absolute bonkers. I don't know how they can follow anything that's going on. I have no idea how they can do that. Okay, so we are in charge here. What I got to watch is that West Ham might change the way they approach the game. I can't see that they've done anything yet. They haven't made any subs. And it doesn't look to me that they've actually changed anything. Although I could be wrong. They could have put the wing backs and the inverted fullback as attacking wing backs. So we don't know. You just got to keep an eye on that in the second half, and just hope that they haven't changed anything, that they're still confident. But Neil, you think the AI are going to make changes? FM24 always has had second half syndrome, where the game changes after half time. Ever since it came out, it was I called it second half syndrome. Game, often you're 3-0 up and they will score 2 straight after half time, and so I called that second half syndrome. And it's still here, even though SI said they took it out. It still exists in the game. So you do have to be very careful after half time. But I think we've got them tied up. And unless they make a change, we've got their attack tied up. They are offering nothing. And it would be interesting to see Bowen's average rating. Yeah, 6.4. We'll see their attack. We've just completely nullified their attack. So quite pleasing. Very pleasing. Oh, Timon's gone down there. That doesn't look too pretty. Looks like a little hamstring there. Morstart's not having the greatest of games, but we'll let him run because it is 2-0. And he just might put one away. They will do more with that tweak. Yeah, I'm fully expecting them to do more. That's why I'm being very vigilant after half-time. And that's why I'm really looking for shifts in momentum. There hasn't been a shift in momentum. What we've done, what we planned out in terms of closing their space down has worked. They for a moment tried to play through the middle, but that didn't work for them. And I guess they're stuck. They don't know. You see, they are trying now to just like pass it in front of us. Wing play has gone to pot. They can't use these corners of the penalty area. They're struggling for ideas, and now they're just like looking to pass it in front of us, looking for possibly an opening, a through ball. Oi, we got another injury, have we? Come on, we don't have to have 2 injuries every time we win. It's not very sporting. Okay, Velasco probably needs to come off as well. So I got to remember. I've got to remember in my next set of subs, I've got to use all 3. This is just like, okay, if you're going to win, then I'm going to injure 2 of your players. Love this game. It's just like, we don't have the squad where we can carry lots of injuries. Season 4 has already taken some poor turns. Go on. What happened there? He stopped. If he'd actually carried on, picked himself up and carried on, he'd have won that. And we'd have been in. There we are. He's getting at Bowen. And Bowen doesn't have the pace to just drift past him. So this wing-back, especially Timon, has done a really good job. That's awful. What have I? Let's work it into the box. Let's just try working it into the box. So football's all about space. Closing down space and creating space. We didn't have to create space in this game. We just needed to make sure West Ham were nullified and our forwards did the rest. Sometimes it's the other way around. We're defensively solid, but we are struggling to score. And that's harder to deal with in my book. Defensive tactics are very simple to do. Attacking tactic, changing attacking style is difficult to do. And all they've got is set pieces now. I'm just going to check they haven't made any subs. They have changed their right back, but I don't think I need to worry about him too much. Not really. Good evening, Pedro. How are you doing, my friend? I don't think we need to worry at all. We've absolutely stopped West Ham from playing completely. Go on, Harry Bass. Oof. But we've picked up 2 injuries, which is not helpful. Especially a full-back injury. So if I take him off and put him on close down less now, West Ham will score. Because Bowen will have too much space. That's not what I'm expecting to see from an inverted fullback. Or what I'm expecting to see from my attackers. Fassini should come off. Possibly, but I don't mind them getting a second yellow card. They're going to get the second yellow card eventually. But let's make my 3 subs now. Brandon Williams has not been particularly good. Probably his yellow card has brought his... He didn't seem that bad to me. He's kept his winger quiet. And 2 midfield boys, I think. Fassini and Allen. So let's bring Humphreys on. And we'll bring Scott on as the centre mid. I'm going to play him as support. Don't need to be doing anything too dramatic. And let's get this 3rd goal, boys, and put me out of my misery. Oh, hit the post. Did it hit the post, or did he not head that? Not quite sure what happened there. So I'm still waiting on a goalkeeper to come in. Oh, what a chance. Echevarri. He's had a good game, though. 8.2. So what I can do now is I can up it to extended highlights, because I'm not really convinced that West Ham are a real threat. So we'll go to extended highlights now. And just keep an eye on what they're doing. I do fancy their wingers, their wing-backs, are looking to get forward a bit more. And he's gone inverted. They might have just switched over. Just trying to go the other way. Oh, they have got back into the game, have they? they did get around my fullback. That was just poor defending. Just poor defending. But they might have become a little bit more attacking. And they are going down the flanks now. So I'm just going to pull my lines back. Just pull the lines back a little bit. They haven't had a shot, but they are 2-1. They've had 4 shots, 0 on target, and it's only 2-1. Are we going to get FM'd here? We've been absolutely destroying them. We just haven't scored enough goals. I did say I wanted a third. Is this it? No. Come on, boys. This is terrible. Our forwards couldn't hit a barn door. 17 shots, 6 on target. 8 minutes. Where did you get that from? I suppose we had 2 injuries, didn't we? He doesn't rate any of these substitutions. But I think what I need to do is close the game down now. That will do. Hopefully just close this game down now. It's nice to get a win on the board again. Oh, referee, come on. This is like way after time added on. Offside, that's got to be it. So good win, I thought, from this was a very rotated team. A very rotated team. A couple of boys did well on their debut. Right, let's finish this transfer window. I'm just waiting on two offers on Salas. I'd like Salas to go out. He's a whinger. Get rid of him. And I'd like this goalkeeper to come in as well, if possible. There's only 3 hours left. We shall see. Well, Labrabich has been granted... What's that question? Oh, I chose not to answer it, did I? And now he can come in. Not quite sure what's going on here. We're going to get one of these, are we? He's not coming in. I can just accept the delay. I can't do anything with it. I knew it was going to do that to me. 2 to 4 weeks. So he's not coming in. The only thing I can hope for is that Salas goes out. There's only 1 hour left. They're not going to get a replacement now. Oh yeah, the deal has fallen through. I'm not allowed to sign a goalkeeper. Fair enough, I suppose. He's gone, which is good news. And that is the window done. So we have just Castiles. Why did they wait until 2 hours before the end of the transfer window to tell me, oh, we can't sell him because we haven't got a replacement yet? Why did they wait till 2 hours before the end of deadline day? I don't want to answer that. So again, but it was an interesting transfer window. I want to rest these players. He doesn't need a rest though. He's getting a big rest. He does. It just makes me wonder now who's going to play out there. And it's going to be, I guess it's going to be Boselli. Under 21, under 21, under 21. Under 21. Everybody else is in. Arribas, yeah. That's done. We have no Europe to worry about. Good evening, Pedro. How are you doing? But the good news is that we have got 31 mil still in the transfer budget. So we do have options for the winter. We only have... Oh, actually, we've got about 80,000 in the wage budget, so we can bring someone in the winter transfer if necessary. And we got to play West Ham again. And good evening, FM Academy. How are you doing, my friend? Yeah, there's I understand that there's an FM Tweak stream going on Twitch, isn't there? I understand that one. So we have the same thing with this West Ham team. And there's no reason to suspect that we shouldn't go and do exactly the same thing, although they've switched it up a little bit here. And they may... Elanga can certainly play as a winger. So it might not be so straightforward. That's their expected team. Whether that will come, I don't know. Gorosibal, Finkgraf can play, and Boselli will need to cover him on the bench. Or Brandon Williams. Actually, no, we sold Brandon Williams, did we? No, Brandon Williams is there. Yeah, we'll put Boselli on as the... And then we will have... Oh, where's my other... Boselli is a central defender, isn't he? Atom is the boy. So Scott McKenna can come on there. Atom can come on the bench. Humphreys can probably be given a shot there. Echevarri, Valesco and Morstadt did well. As well as Arribas. I'm going to keep Arribas on the wing. Actually, no, I'm going to play Diallo. Let's give Diallo a shot. Luca can come in up top. Echevarri played well. There's no reason to change that team, although I would like... What would I like? Oh, don't tell me we're going to win the Carabao Cup this season. That's not the trophy I want. Just thinking about that. I don't want to view the draw. It's too many teams. Ooh, Tottenham. 200-mile-an-hour football. So there's no need to change what we actually did last time. But Elanga probably has a little bit more pace. Kudos probably has a little bit more pace. So we got Elanga, who's got blistering pace. Oh, it'll switch to Bowen again. I don't believe he's going to play as an inside forward this time. He's going to play as a winger. So we're going to have one winger and one inside forward. And they got the same system going on here. The back four will be made up by Adapo. Zuma will get forward. They're not playing wing play. This will be harder to deal with because I've got this one I need to close down more. He needs to close down more, and he needs to close down less. I need probably... I'm going to stay with the higher line. Going to stay with the higher line, I think. Although I do worry Elanga's going to cause me problems down that left. I really can't make a decision yet until I see how they start. But I don't see any reason why we should play any differently. He's my best DLP. He's only 3-star. There's something wrong with this star rating system. Scott is not better than him. Probably is a good move. He's been at the club a bit longer. But I was going to play Scott up here. Yeah, we'll leave it with Scott in there. Fernandez, Gould, Velasco up top. We want Velasco on the wing. We do have to fit Fernandez into the team, so he can come in that role. Humphreys can come onto the bench. Humphreys or Fassini? Humphreys. Arribas on for Juan Lu. That'll do. This might be a little bit harder, and of course Castile's for Stanic. Yeah, now I'm starting to fear, because I don't want to pull the line back because of Bowen, but I need to pull the line back because of Elanga's pace. So I've still got to stop that left-hand side. It might be that I have to put my right wing back as a full back. Yeah, this is the... Hey, Shane, how are you doing? Yes, FM, this is version 2.1.2 now, which is the latest one on their website. There is another one, which I believe the boys are playing in the Discord, But that's not due for final release until mid-April, I believe. At least that's my belief. I'm doing well, Shane, doing well. Unfortunately, Ipswich are not doing particularly well. But we have won our last 3 games on the trot, and a win here against West Ham could take us up the table to maybe 10th or 11th. So we continue to play as we did, although they have a different team now. The FM tweak, the next public release will be the 4th of April. Yeah, the tweak, I love them. Somebody posted on their Discord, I think it was last night or this morning, that they watched somebody play with the default engine recently, and it was painful to their eyes. And I think if I go back to the default engine, I'll probably have the same experience. This is much smoother. Are you trying them, FM? Have you tried them yet? Hey, Danish, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing? Chelsea in the mud, you love to see it. Chelsea down there. Newcastle top. Oh, can we get 3 points here? I'd have preferred to have lost the Carabao Cup match than to lose the Premier League game. But there's no reason why we should lose this game. We just need to play as we played. But Elanga is what's worrying me. He's the boy who's worrying me. I think that's a fairly decent team. Doesn't look great on paper, but I don't think my coaches are giving these boys the credit they deserve. I think possibly because Boselli might be a 4-star that the others have gone down. Ari Bass being a 4-star means other players have gone down. Just don't want to rush them into the team. Alan hasn't made the greatest of starts, although he did play quite well, I think, in the last game. That was a 6.8. So we'll give some other boys a game. And we'll set up as we set up before. There's no reason. He's confused, looking forward to his battle with Kurt Zouma. Why are you confused if you're looking forward to your battle with Kurt Zouma? FM, sometimes you do the strangest things. He should be like, fired up. I'm looking forward to it. So what we did is we need to eliminate these two. That's what we got to do. Bowen is playing up top today. And Kudos probably has a little bit of pace. No, he doesn't have too much, but probably has more than Bowen. So I think this time we're going to need to drop the line back a little bit. But we'll still try to take those middle two out. Bowen, we know, we put him on his right foot and hard tackle him. Elanga can't cross the ball, so I want to put him on his left foot. I want to force him outside. And then Kudos, he can't cross the ball either. So I want to force him outside. We'll put him on his right foot. We'll ask the boys. So we will drop the line back a little bit, because they may well play wing play this time. We'll come off the press, and we're going to ask these boys to close down less. Now, I just want them to shadow them towards the corner flag, force them to cross. Yeah, he's already. That's the game plan. That's how hopefully we're going to we're going to win this Premier League game. Attacking wise, we just need to do what we're doing. We'll get better. We don't want any injuries. Currently in a title battle with Cadiz. Too scared to switch it. It improves. I mean, I don't know what you're making of it. We're in comprehensive highlights. You can see passing is a lot better. There's a lot of animations that are a lot different. Go on, Luca. Get in. Oh, I put the light off there somehow. That was magic. I could be on Britain's Got Talent doing that. Somehow I managed to put the light off. Get in, Luca. And I think crossing is better, dribbling is better, tackling is vastly improved. I'm not quite sure about heading yet. I still think that that's a strange movement, this movement across the 6-yard line. And heading in. I still think that is a strange movement. So I'm not quite sure about that yet. But goal scoring, the players strike the ball really sweetly. I've also seen side footers, which I have never seen in the default engine. Someone doing a side foot, which is really interesting. That does seem to me that I am incorrect. That we have to push this line up. Working on the heading department. Yeah, I mean, that movement that Luca made was to run across the 6-yard line and somehow turn his body and get a really good, accurate heading into the far corner. And I see that so much. And it's not a natural movement for me. But, I mean, I've always put up with it. But if you can, like, do something about that, that would be awesome. They're employed by SI. Well, Neil is here. I think Neil will tell you they're not employed by SI. That was very poor. Who was that central defender? Sia. I think we need to watch him because that was a very poor pass. Now you can see now they're playing wing play. They're actually playing wing play now where they were playing through the middle in the last game. And that's because they've got more natural wingers. But I don't know whether it's the pitch size I've got here, but they had a lot of space in midfield. And I need to close that space down, so I'm going to play with the high line until I realise that the high line's not the right thing to do. Just concerned about Elanga's pace. But if we force him wide, if we force him out here, he can't cross. So just track him out there. He's not going to be very dangerous. They have had 2 shots, 2 on target, so they are a little bit more lethal with Bowen up top. And I might actually put someone on Bowen. They're focused on my right-hand side, so I need to figure out who's the feeder, where the balls are going down this side. And actually, if I go back, we'll be able to see. So Kudos who's feeding him? It could be Kudos or it could be James Ward-Prowse. Really not sure at the moment. I think it could even be the centre-back who's actually feeding the right winger. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Good tackle. Go on, Echevarri. Go on. Oh! I need to actually tell them. I don't know why I've left that off. Come on, boys. 3 points here will take us up to 10th. I think I can get them back into Europe at the end of this season. I feel confident I can get them back into Europe, despite the fact that the media rank us so poorly. I still think we can get back into Europe. It's Prowse, isn't it? Who's feeding him? Yeah, James Ward-Prowse is feeding Kudos. So what I want to do is make Prowse pass the other way. Yeah, so we turn him onto his left foot, so that now he's got to pass this way. And that then will hopefully deny him the opportunity to get it out here. Or he'll score from a free kick. Good save, Castiles. Okay, we're 1-0 up at half-time. We're doing well. Do not get complacent. Do not get complacent. Don't know why we're closing Kurt Zouma down. Maybe because he can pop these balls over the top. I'm not going to argue with my assistant over that one. It doesn't seem to be doing any harm. And it's not distracting Luca too much. Luca scored the goal that divides the teams. Velasco's not actually outstanding at the moment, is he? Zuma is getting high up the pitch, isn't he? That's Johnson over the top to Kudos. So Johnson. Where is he? Is he a sub? He shouldn't be causing me any trouble at all. But I actually want him on his left foot, so he has to pass it left. And do you need these players to stop playing it out to Kudos? They're going actually a little bit further to the left, and that's better now. So we might have stopped them using that space. Oh, Luca, that was a golden chance. Straight at the goalkeeper. Hope you're going to make it up from the corner now. 6'7" you are. Come on, near post header. Go on, Luca. Oh, I thought that had gone in as well. Oh, if we don't win this, I'm going to be very upset. So we've stopped them down that right-hand side, and they've switched over to the left a little bit more now. The middle, they're not playing down the middle. So we've done exactly the right thing. We need to check on their subs. We want him on his left foot as well. And then Diallo. Diallo's back to his best, isn't he? Haribas can come on for Diallo. Alex Scott, I was told not to play him. Alan can come on for Scott. And then Garosable's not playing very well. So Brandon Williams will come on there. And Boselli will make his debut. But I'm going to put him on support, not on attack. Diallo needs to be sold. I absolutely agree with you. He's just so bad in the Prem. He was all right in pre-season. Looked like he was going to make it up for last season, but he's just gone back to being bad in the Prem. Like, come on, Diallo. Teams definitely play better. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many of my videos you've seen. I actually am better at defending than I am attacking. I build my teams on defence. Velasco can come off as well. So defending has always been what I build teams on, but we're in trouble here. Good block. Elanga hasn't been good. I wouldn't be surprised if Elanga's gone off. No, he's still on. They've still only made one sub. Well, their front two, Kudus is playing well. So I'm going to put Boselli, who should be good at marking. He can mark Kudus. Boselli should be very good as a central defender at marking. I'm also probably going to put him on as a fullback on support now as well. We don't need to go hell for leather, but we should be closing down better than that. We're a bit all over the place at the moment, so I'm going to slow the game down a little bit. Just don't take too many risks. They're winning the midfield battle, aren't they? Offside, son. He's offside. So the game is telling me I need to do something here. He was way offside. But what do I need to do? Oh, it's miles offside. I don't need VAR to sort that out. This one, he's miles offside. We need this second goal. Go on, son. Oh, our shooting is dreadful. We're lucky to be winning these games. We're creating chances, but our shooting is dreadful. Okay. We want to... I'm going to close him down. And he's on the right, isn't he? So Fernandez is going to have the job of tracking him. Well, I think we're just about going to hold on, are we? Hopefully. It's time to slow it down now. The last thing to do Get some bodies back. Oh, blimey, that was a shambles. Nicely done. Oh, it's a bit speculative. But I think a job well done. It's over. Come on, referee. It's over the time added on again. That's it. A job well done. All I want is the points at this point in time. Luca's early goal. Not at our best, but we got the result. And that's how we use space, and that's how we close down space. And there's so many, like we had this really interesting discussion last night, and there's so many different ways that you can close down space. And it's one of the interesting things you come across is that you have teams, opposition teams, who are perhaps all left-footed, or 9 of the team are left-footed. And the way to beat them is to turn them all onto their right foot. So it forces them to play on the right-hand side of the pitch. And they can't deal with that because they're not very good with their right foot. So when you force them to play that way, then they just can't deal with it. And in the meantime, you can just run amok down the right-hand side. So there's so many different ways you can stop them using the space they want to use. And sometimes people don't just look at how a team is playing. And although the temptation is to try and deal with Kudos, it's often better to try and deal with the person who's feeding him. And once you close him down, so we identified it was Ward-Prowse who was feeding these balls over to Kudos. We'll make him pass that way. So if you turn him onto his left foot, he has to pass that way now. So there's so many different ways that you can stop them playing the way that they actually want to play. And people don't use that very often. And it's so useful. As well as actually using the lines. And we are in 10th now. Who have we got to play next? Brentford. Am I going out? Why do you think I'm going out? Yeah, the third face, Will, was blatant. I didn't need VAR. Yeah, we're going to qualify for Europe, and Enrico, that was just a blip. We should have beaten Norwich, and Tottenham, Liverpool, well, getting 1 point is a bonus. But we're back on track. And once the boys learn how to play this... No, I don't drink beer when I'm in the UK. I only drink when I go to the Philippines and to and to Vietnam. It's the only time I drink. That's why there was lots of posts on my Facebook with Red Horse beer. I drank a bit in the Philippines, too much. Who is Melvin Emmanuel? Do I know him? He's got a hefty tag on him. He's got a bit of pace, but I'm not sure I agree with that price tag. I might have to sell him. Get that kind of money for him. Brentford. If we can get 3 points against Brentford, that'd be brilliant. So I've got to decide on my first team soon. Look at all these DMs coming out of the cupboard now. Deep line playmaker again. All of them coming out of the cupboard. but I couldn't find one earlier. Good at set pieces. We need to go far post. Far post. They're a pretty good team, but they lack pace and acceleration. But good crosses of the ball. This is a team we don't particularly want to force outside. Kevin Sade is a very good crosser of the ball, as well as Damsgaard. Damsgaard probably doesn't have pace. He does have pace, enough pace. So I wonder how they're going to play. Route 1, huh? They'll be banging balls over the top, are they? So again, it's these two. I want both fullbacks to close down. I don't want him marked because he's going to be bursting into the area. It's this guy I want to keep an eye on. Nurgard. With this wing back going past the advanced playmaker. So they've probably got an overlap there. Interesting. So I've got a wing back who's going to have to look after two players, in a sense. Well, my DLP should be able to help him out. Can't support me in this one. The Brentford one. I actually quite like Brentford, so I don't know if I can support myself in this one. I like Brentford. I like watching them when they're live. They're quite an entertaining team. They are delighted to see him being... yeah. Well, he wants to play as a DLP. That's what I want to play him as. Fassini's pleased as well. So it looks like I've got all the whingers out of the... There's no unhappy players. Fassini's happy. And Alan is happy that he's playing in the position that he wants to. So we don't have any unhappy players. This team is going to Europe. Don't you worry. Sitting in 11th. It just takes another victory. We're right up amongst them. Need to think about the team. Who's my first team? Castiles. Is Garosabal the best now? Boselli probably is just as good. Juan Lu is just as good now as a wing back out there. I don't know. Maybe Juan Lu. I'm going to give Juan Lu a go. Because I'm not sure about who my best right back is. Finkgard I want to keep playing. He's going to develop into a very good player. He's quite young, I think. 22. I think he's going to become a good player. Got faith in him. His mentals are quite good for 22. I've got faith in that boy. Although he's probably not the best, but we'll keep playing him. I'm going to bring Alan in there. Who's... Sia isn't playing particularly well. He had a good game last time. He's doing all right, actually, Sia. McKenna. It's fine, so we'll keep playing those. Bosilli and Atom can stay on the bench. Scott can come in here. And forget about Mr. Diallo. Arribas is probably the best. We're interesting. We're going up a few stars. Results mean we are jumping up a little bit. If I put Brandon Williams here, does that make a difference? Yeah. It's probably Brandon Williams who is the best left back that I have at the moment. Timon is the best one, but he's injured. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks, 1 week. Ezequiel Fernandez on the bench, Diallo on the bench. I think that is my first team. I like Echevarri. I think that is the first team. Fassini is not playing particularly well. Neither is Humphreys. Neither is Fernandez. Although Diallo seems to have a 7.22. I don't know where he sneaked that from. Gould is not playing very well either. Okay, we'll go with that team for now. You're in love with a Filipina you met online, are you? Oh, that's interesting, Will. Gonna go over in November to January. She's a businesswoman. Sounds like a good idea. I find them too expensive myself. And apart from that, I'm way too old. Way too old now. I don't want anything to do with women anymore. I want to spend my money on myself, and because I don't get much. So it sounds like you've got something going there. If you find a really good one, they are the nicest people in the world. Absolutely the nicest people in the world. Want to make a lot of babies. Yes, Shane, she might be in the business of spending his money. I would say be careful, but if you find a really good one, they are the nicest people in the world. Do I want... He wants me to rotate a little bit. Try boys out. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to go with what I believe is the best team that I have. It's my team, not the assistant manager's. He's there just to give me advice. And sometimes I just have to go with what I think. If we can beat Brentford... Ooh... So he's not an issue. He will be an issue. We need to take him out. And we need to watch Mbuemo and Norgard. Because I'm really, like, Route 1, seriously? A team of that talent. No, I'm still gonna chase him. He's still gonna be. He's still in my headlights, that boy. This is a rival. Oh no, that's just talking about the Prem. I'll take a draw away at Brentford. But what I do know, if they're going to play route 1, I can't play with a high line. I've got to play with a standard line. And I don't want to press too much or get stuck in. And I think this boy needs to push up more. And this one also needs to push up more. Needs to get in the face of Ari Bass has got a job to do as well. Because he needs to mark the full back or the wing back on that side. If he's causing us any problem. But Brentford are in 19th at the moment. Sad to say. It doesn't make any sense. Timon's not fit. So let's get 3 points here. We can start getting up amongst these big boys. Oh, he does want me to tackle harder. That's the team I'm going with. If we play well defensively, if I set them up defensively right, we shouldn't have any bother. So let's go and have a look at what he wants to do. It's a little bit too much if you ask me, but I agree with those two. I don't particularly think we need to do that. All that. Norgard. Probably going to need to turn these onto weaker foot. So these are the boys. These are the boys. We've been on a good run lately. There's limited things to say. We may have to keep an eye on what's going on here. Because I'm not sure. The only thing I know is that if they're going to play route 1, that means they're going to bang the ball over the top. So I've got to have a lower line of defence. I've got to put it back to standard. At least. It might have to go even lower. And we might have to even play in a low block. We might even have to play in a low block and put the line back even lower. Just don't want them banging the ball over the top. But at the moment, we're not forcing them back. We need to start forcing them back. Oh. We need to start getting our players up the field and forcing them back. Which is happening. It also could turn out to be a possession game, this. Oof, Mbuemo, they've got 3 on 2 here. Interesting. Everything is going through that playmaker, isn't it? Everything's going through the playmaker. So we, instead of type marking him, which is Damsgaard, don't want to just type marking. I'm going to ask my fullback to do it. He's already told to mark tighter. Only you just need him to get right on him. Yeah, they are. Because they've got this playmaker here, they've also got the inverted winger on this side. But if they are just banging balls, I'm not seeing evidence of Route 1 here, to be honest. Because I haven't seen a direct pass from them yet. It could come down to a game of possession, this. And which might mean I might have to slow things down. Go on, Luca. Oof. I might have to just slow things down and just keep the ball. I want to get the ball into the box. Play for set pieces. Just slow everything down and keep the ball. Because if we can keep the ball away from them, that's what this game might come down to. Struggling to know where they're actually, how they're actually using the space at the moment. Get in, Luca. If our forwards do their stuff, though, we don't have to worry. Good tackle, won the ball well, and Alan, lovely pass. That's why we brought him in. Because that boy can pass a ball. The tackle looked good, and then the pass was lovely. But it's happening down this left-hand side. So I need to find out who's feeding him. Who is giving him the ball? These two are sent. That he's a winger. We need to find out who's giving him the ball. Is it Kajuste? Kajuste might be feeding him the ball. Yeah, it's him. So what I might do is switch him onto his right foot and see if that makes a difference. And stops the ball going out to that side. I also might want to hard tackle him so that he knows he doesn't have a lot of time. This will be good. If we win this, we'll be up to 8th. I told you, we're getting them into Europe. Don't worry about it. Good save, Castiles. Keeping an eye on Juan Lu, who's not a natural fullback. And he's only on a 6.6. He might be struggling to mark that playmaker. Good job, Luca. Brandon Williams can come back to a support duty now. We just want to stop Kajuste, and I think we have. He's still only on one key pass. But I'll only be happy when I see them switching the play over to the right. Go on, go on. Almost. A little bit more down the right, so maybe we've done the job. You're capable of even better. Well, I don't know, Pedro. They're not making many subs at half-time. Are they supposed to be in this version making subs at half time? Mbuemo is playing well. So I might ask Brandon Williams to actually type mark him. Just take him out. We put him on a support duty, so just take him out. All right, it's the one that's due out in April, yeah? If this attack starts to learn to play together, and we can defend the way we're defending, we could be Champions League at the end of this season. I could even take them to the Champions League. We can keep defending like this, and our attack learns to play together. But we're giving away too many free kicks, boys. That's because we're on get stuck in. Title champions. Joe, I know you. Probably the most optimistic person in the world. Getting Champions League is overly optimistic on my part. Europa's more realistic. So he did well there. Oh, big space. Big space in the middle. Can't afford for that to happen. I still need them to be looking for Mbuemo a little bit more. But it's not happening. They're still focused down that left-hand side. And still giving away too many free kicks. They will score from one in the end. Oh, boys. Like I said, it might come down to possession, this. That's good. It's pretty much a rear guard action at the moment. Okay, Brandon Williams is absolutely knackered. He must be injured. Not another fullback injured. Juan Lu has done a good job for me on the right there. And Velasco is not playing very well. Just might edge it. Possession-wise, still not edging it. Just a tough game, this. Really tough. And we're giving them away far too many set pieces, boys. They will score from one in a minute. If we keep giving away set pieces. But I did say we might have to come into a low block, and I think it's time to do that. And I want to... That might hurt. Let's go into this low block. Let's get bodies behind the ball. Luca is really tired now. He's only played a couple of games. Come on. I did say at the start we might need to come into a low block. Oh, what a chance. Oh, come on. What a chance. Like I said, if my attack starts to play better... They have made a change. Chance. Catch in! Finkgraf. Get in. That's what we wanted. Good night, Will. I'd said at the start it might take going into a low block. But they have made a change to their... they just made some substitutions. Tony has come on. Well, we need to type mark Tony. I'll turn him on to his left foot. We got to take him seriously. Pizarro. Hard tackling right foot. And left foot. This is just basically what I'm trying to do here. Is just force them to pass in the direction that they don't want to pass. Just make it more difficult for them. Because we're not running away with this by any stretch. I need to do something also with both fullbacks now. Because they won't be tight marking. Yeah, it does carry on. So I want him... Ontario. Okay, that should do it. We are much the better team, in all fairness. Scott's had a good game. Luke has done well. My boy Finkgraf put the game, I think, beyond Brentford now. No, not beyond them, but they should have scored there, but he was offside. Should have scored. You've got to take chances like that, Brentford. But we've missed chances as well. Come on, win that second ball. That was one heck of a back pass. Methinks they've changed the focus. Yeah, they've changed their focus. I'm right there. So I need to drop my line. There's the wing play now. So we need to stop them getting behind us now. Come on, hold on, boys. Hold on. We've been absolutely beaten in this, but we've kind of FM'd them a little bit. Hold on. Do not let them back into this game. Come on, pick up the ball. That's it. Good job. Now slow it down. Support, slow it down. That's poor. That's not short passing. And there's that boy setting off down the wing again. This is not good. This is like he's off down that wing again. Shoot from there, that's okay. Come on, boys. There's just like 4 minutes. You can hold on to this. Okay, they've changed again. They have changed again. This is like a game of chess. I'm going to go much higher now. Try and win the second ball. Looks like they are going much more down the middle, route 1. Get in! Get in! So we're up to 8. And it's now almost 10 o'clock. So I'd say that I'm going to call it a day from here. 3 games, 3 draws. 3 games, 3 draws. 3 games, 3 wins. And I'd say that we're starting to put something together again. And that was just on trying to have a little look after I had that kind of discussion on space and defending space in particular. We didn't really need to open up space. Because we'd scored goals. We scored against West Ham second time early on. So we didn't need to open up space. But in all 3 games, we needed to make sure that they were not allowed to play the way that they wanted to play. And we just about, I think, deserved to win. So I think that was a good little session. Brandon Williams, how long? Only 1 to 2 days. Phew. So, thank you guys for coming along. Hope you enjoyed that little session. I know it's slow. And I know, like somebody mentioned, can't you put the speed up to double speed? But that's not for me how I want to play the game. And if it's not the way he wants to watch, then I'm sorry. But I know it's slow, but that just gave you a chance to see how I would normally play and how I would get results. And that's what I wanted to do tonight. because I did think that was a really good talk yesterday, good discussion, and it got me thinking about different ways, different things that you can do. So it's the best way to learn it, Shane, is to slow it down and think about it while it's going on. And I'm still learning. I still find things in FM all the time. And I found a couple of things tonight which I need to work on as well. So I thought it was a good stream. We had some good results. If you haven't liked already, guys, give us a like. It does help the channel. And I'd like to get to 10,000 before FM26. That would be so cool. I actually like comprehensive. That's how I would play games if I was just playing for myself. YouTube makes you play in a different way. You're aware that people want you to be playing faster, and they want the graphics going at 300 miles an hour because that's computer games. But I have resisted always doing that. I like comprehensive, and I like the speed, the standard speed. Thanks for coming, guys. I've really appreciated it. I've had a great time. I'm a bit tired now, though, and I'll get something to eat, have a cup of tea, and sleep. But it's been a good day. All around, it's been a good day, and that's capped it off for me very nicely. 3 very good wins there. And we might be European bound. Who knows? Thanks for coming, guys. And we will be back in the afternoon tomorrow. We'll do some more again tomorrow. And see where we can take this Ipswich team. Have a good night, guys. Stay safe. Take care. And we'll see you soon.